report. Happy National Heroes Day. I'm Lloyd Allen. Thanks so much for tuning in. Synonymous with National Heroes Day is the Bahamas Investiture of National Honors. Today, some 200+ persons were bestowed titles of this country's highest honors on civilians in two separate ceremonies held at the Bahamas Convention Center. Carla Palmer reports.
One by one, persons recognized as the recipients of this year's national honors, they stepped forward as their names were called to receive their National Heroes Awards. The recipients were recognized in varying categories, including the Order of the Bahamas, the Order of Distinction, and the Order of Merit. In addition to those still living, recognition was also posthumously conferred on those deemed to have made an invaluable contribution to national development. Among the honorees walking the aisle today at the Bahamas Convention Center were Barbara Cartwright, who accepted the Order of Distinction for her service to politics, and Maurice Tynes, who was awarded the Order of Merit for his parliamentary and civic roles.
I am very honored and humbled that I'm being recognized. This is something I think the country is lacking, and so it gives me great pride to accept this honor today.
I'm quite honored to have been recommended and deeply honored to be recognized. You know, you don't do, when you do your life service, you don't do it looking for these recognitions, but but once it's offered, it's really an honor to know that you have been recognized for the work, for the service that you gave.
Chairman of the National Honors Advisory Committee, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, says the objective was to ensure no one was left behind, and congratulated the recipients, thanking them for their sacrifices made.
I am pleased that you saw it fit to accept the award, and the nation sees today how you are honored for the great contributions which you've made to our country. I hope that your success and the success of what we're engaged in this morning of statecraft is an important example to the younger ones who are coming up behind us.
Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, also thanked the honorees for their work in building a better Bahamas.
These are our heroes. These 200 Bahamians honored today represent but a small fraction of those who have lent their strength to the building of this great nation. These women and men truly embody the good, the righteous, and the worthy. Some of them, like the 4 brave Marines who lost their lives working in defense of the fledgling Bahamas 42 years ago, serve as enduring reminders of the courage, tenacity, and fortitude that make a hero. These honorees stand as stalwart pillars of our community, and today we lift them up in the highest gesture of gratitude.
These ceremonies have been ongoing all but 5 years now, since 2017. A short time compared to the service above self being rendered by so many over these many years. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Well, thanks a lot, Carla. Global economic growth, inflation, and a possible United States recession are some of the priority items included in the annual International Monetary Fund and World Bank meetings in Washington, D.C. happening this week. Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis, is leading the Bahamas delegation at the high-level International Financial Conference, which literally gives the country a permanent seat at the table to discuss a myriad of financial issues impacting the Caribbean and the world alike.
You know that the main issues under discussion are climate change, the prospects for growth of the global economy. Are we facing the prospects of a global recession? How inflation is impacting the economies around the world, issues related to energy security and using renewables, and how, for example, small countries can build resilience in their economies. That is, building economies that can, recover quickly from shocks such as we saw with COVID-19, and with us, the climate events such as the hurricanes.
Halkitis will also represent the country at the Commonwealth Finance Ministers meeting that coincides with this week's IMF World Bank meetings.
Our Bahamas delegation will take the opportunity to speak with banks, investors, and the other rating agencies to update them on our position, our recovery, our plans, and our policies. And so it's a good opportunity when everybody's in one place to be able to have these conversations and get feedback.
Like most of the public, the tourism industry is not welcoming the pending BPL electricity rate hike. President of the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association, Robert Sand, says there is a degree of apprehension among industry stakeholders as recovery has only just started from losses brought on by the COVID pandemic.
It's extremely concerning because energy costs represent a second highest cost factor within the tourism industry. And also it has come at a time when hotels are beginning to rebound from the double pandemic of hurricane and COVID, and was beginning to see a sustained level of growth and improvement. It is unfortunate that this level of increase is coming at this time.
Now, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis QC announced the rate hike last week. He says it will take effect in November and could last up to 18 months. However, Sand says the association believes there are steps government can take to mitigate.
A review of VAT on the fuel surcharge portion. Maybe there can be some relief or some consideration or some forgiveness. That's number one. To look at the ways in the future for improved hedging, because we were the beneficiaries of that pricing level as a result of hedging. And thirdly, to accelerate the transition to other forms of energy, renewable energy, more efficient energy, that's also less costly and less negatively impactful on tourist companies and resorts.
In other news, an 87-year-old man is dead after an afternoon of swimming in waters at Adelaide Village Sunday. Police say shortly before 5 p.m., the elderly man was swimming with another man when a wave swept them away from the shoreline. When the men resurfaced, the now deceased was unconscious. EMS was called, pronouncing the man dead at the scene. Police say foul play is not suspected. And despite the Atlantic hurricane season passing its peak during the month of September, questions continue to arise from residents on not only what they can do to secure their homes, but what's the best way to go about ensuring in the event of any potential damages. In this latest installation of our hurricane preparedness series, our Amajal Knowles sits down with Vice President of Claims at J.S. Johnson, Edward Albury.
With the Atlantic hurricane season being in full swing, there are many pressing questions from concerned homeowners on what they can do to be prepared for any potential storm. Vital among them is ensuring that they have the best hurricane coverage policy and if and when it should be updated. Vice President of J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, Edward Albury.
Optimally, you would want to make sure that your sums insured mirror the value of your property. And one of the ways to do that is to have a professional appraisal done at regular intervals, perhaps maybe every 3 years, so that you know what the value of your home is and you can match that to the sum insured.
Albury also explaining how some home renovations can affect a homeowner's policy.
Anything that you do to your house, any improvements or whatever, you want to make sure and let your insurer know. Because if you say, for example, you buy a generator or you add a section to your house, these changes change the values that are involved. And so your insurer should know so they can tell you whether or not your insurance should be adjusted to match the changes in the value. So any changes that change the risk, right, or the value of the properties, they should be updated and notified to your insurer.
Another frequently asked question is what exactly is covered in your home?
Generally, people think that all the contents in their home are covered by their contents insurance. That's not essentially true. We all know that motor cars, trailers, caravans, motorcycles, boats, we know those things are not covered under your contents, but you may have parts or accessories for those items in your home. They are not considered contents under your home and contents and policy.
Now, in regards to something persons may not know as far as a moratorium on purchasing coverage just ahead of a potential storm.
The basis for that is the premium that you pay goes into a pool, right? And everybody pays a premium into the pool to meet the losses of the few. So if you just try to jump in at the last minute, you're not really putting any money into the pool, and we may have to pay for a total loss of your house. So hence the reason for putting out a moratorium just before an event is upon us.
Now, stay tuned into the ZNS Bahamas social media pages for insightful hurricane-related tips to help you stay prepared this season. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amajal Knowles.
With a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas. In the tropics, we continue to monitor the remnants of Julia. The northwest at some 15 miles per hour, maximum sustained winds down to 30 miles per hour, and we expect further weakening of the system as it remains overland. There's a second area over the Yucatan Peninsula, this area of low pressure. The Hurricane Center is giving it a 20% chance of developing over the next 5 days, so we'll keep our eyes on that and keep you posted. But elsewhere in the tropics, tropical cyclone development is not expected over the next 5 days. This has been a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas.
Side of the break, tablets donated to students across the country and an update on the COVID dashboard. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight. Stay with us.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet's so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet's so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine's so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine's so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
What makes us experts? Every bite. And while it's impossible to know how many there have been in KFC's history, each one of them is crucial. Because our secret travels from mouth to mouth. And we know that the first bite will never be the last. Kentucky Deluxe Chicken Sandwich, a triple breaded chicken breast, premium mayo, pickles, lettuce, tomato, and cheese on a buttery brioche bun. All our chicken expertise in a sandwich. Kentucky Deluxe Chicken Sandwich, only at KFC Nassau.
AID has everything you need and more to complement your home's decor. Luxurious bamboo bath towels, face towels from $1.25 and bath towels from $5.45. Shower curtains from $2.54 and organizers in stylish finishes. Bath mat sets from $7.27 in a multitude of styles and colors. Bed sheet sets from $9.95 and 7-piece comforter sets from $49.95. Doormats from $1.93 with matching runners and hundreds of area carpets. Sofa covers from $19.95, plain and crushed sheer curtains from $5.25 and thousands of panels to choose from. Blinds from $7.02 and curtain rods from $2.89. Ceramic and porcelain dishes, tablecloths, napkins, placemats, utensils, and more. A wide selection of drinking glasses including elegant stemware, candle holders, vases, and crystal. Full-size mirrors, decorative pictures, and picture frames. AID, Wolf Road and the Mall at Marathon open late and on Sundays to serve your decorating needs. AID, all you really need and more.
Mario thought he could have his cake and eat it too. He almost found out the hard way that if you don't insure your home for the full replacement value, when it comes time to make a claim, you won't get the full payout. It's called the condition of average. If your $200,000 home is destroyed by a hurricane, but you only insured it for $100,000, half the value, you'll only get half of that $100,000 payout. Actually, less than that, because there's also a deductible, which will be deducted from your payout. Check your home insurance policy for the condition of average clause and ask your insurance agent or broker how condition of average would affect you. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
Welcome back. Just 6 months into his post as Consul General of the Bahamas in New York, and Leroy Major says things have been busy. Not only does he serve New York City, but a total of 10 states in the Northeast Corridor, including New Jersey, Boston, and Philadelphia. Major gave insight on the role of the Consul General.
Our responsibility is to assist Bahamians in those 10 states in whatever need they may have in terms of renewal of passports, visas, and if there are persons who are in a situation and need assistance, then the the Consulate of the Bahamas would render assistance to them if they find themselves in need. We also work with the persons who are incarcerated in those 10 states. We have Bahamians who find themselves in problems, and if they are incarcerated in any of those 10 states, it's the Consul General's responsibility to make sure that they're treated well.
And since COVID-19 has become more manageable, more Bahamians, according to Major, have been seeking to get passports and visas renewed. Outside of those responsibilities, Major says his aim is to build a relationship with the Bahamian diaspora in the states he oversees.
One of the things I realized quite early is that, the Bahamas government can only do so much with the budget that they have to work with on an annual basis or for a term that they would serve. And I think the Consul General in the various states have a wonderful opportunity to build relationship with partners in the private sector where we can assist in securing or soliciting, whether it be business ideas or opportunities for Bahamians in these 10 states that would manifest itself down in the Bahamas to assist in carrying that load.
And hundreds of students in New Providence and Family Island schools have received tablets generously donated by BTC. BTC Chairman Samir Bhatti said the company has a strong culture of giving back to the community and believes in doing its part to connect. Meantime, Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, thanked BTC for its partnership, noting that education is at the foundation of our human development. And the Ministry of Education needs your input to make changes to the present high school diploma program. The Bahamas High School Diploma National Review Commission wants to hear your concerns, questions, or comments during a series of public town hall meetings. Now, the meetings are scheduled for October 12th through the 14th at 6:30 each evening at Anatole Rogers High School, C.I. Gibson High School, and Queens College's Jeffrey Brown Auditorium, respectively. If you are unable to attend, you can email your questions, concerns, or comments to bhsdmoe.edu.bs. Now, the taped meetings will be broadcast on the ZNS television network at a date to be announced. And from the health front, just one new case of COVID-19 reported in the latest release from the Ministry of Health and Wellness for a nationwide total of 37,318. 10 cases are in hospital, all listed as moderately ill. There are 87 active cases with 5 new recoveries. And breastfeeding is still the best way to feed a newborn child. That was the message members of the Bahamas National Breastfeeding Association were hoping to drive home during an umbrella-thon held in the Pinewood Gardens community Monday morning. President of the organization, Trinika Hall, says the umbrella-thon is the culmination of the National Breastfeeding Week activities held last week.
We need more support with breastfeeding. We need our employers to support our mothers who are breastfeeding, who are working women. That is our plight, and we need to continue the fight with breastfeeding and get our policy established and get the Bahamas baby-friendly.
If we want to prevent diseases or reduce diseases happening in our children must live long lives, And I want us all, the community, the husbands, the the father, the community, the mothers, the grandmothers to support the community at large, to support breastfeeding, because it is the way for us to go in the future.
Vice President of the association, Ampasam Simonet, says the organization has been working since 1993 to educate the public on the health benefits of breastfeeding.
We have climate change, all the industrialization of your deforestation that is as a result of setting up industries to make cows milk. We don't need that. Mother's a supplier, consumers right there, so we don't need no landfill be filled with bottles, teats, and all of that. And this is, it's so, I don't know what else to say. We have to get our mothers to think beyond that. And also the fact is this year we are trying to ask employees to look at what is it that we need to do, have places for them to breastfeed. We have already spoken to the Director of Labor, to the chairperson of the National Tripart Council to make sure that those needs of the mothers is met.
And placing you in the driver's seat. Last week, we shared what motorists need to know when faced with hit and runs, an experience shared by many. Tonight, we look deeper into the differences between third-party and comprehensive insurance and how drivers can remain in control of minimizing liability and pursuing damages. When it comes to motor insurance, comprehensive and third-party coverage are generally accepted as the two major options. Third-party typically covers fire or theft. However, comprehensive, considered a supplementary insurance, provides coverage for incidents both on and off the road, and most times offers the insured benefits like roadside assistance and generally higher claims in the event of an accident. Loss adjuster Annette McPhee adds for both types, it is recommended to go through your policy with a fine-tooth comb.
Clients are expected to abide by certain terms and conditions. So, for example, with a motor policy, you're expected to report the accident in a reasonable period of time to your insurers. You're also expected to drive your vehicle in a roadworthy condition, that is, no faulty brakes or bald tires. You're expected not to deliberately set up yourself for a claim. With a rise on hit and runs or drivers leaving the scene of an accident, she says motorists under third party have fewer options for recourse. If you're not able to get the vehicle or license plate number, still report it to the police for the records, because the insurers would want to know that, hey, this is a matter that was not deliberately arranged. And because the person has comprehensive, they can go into the insurer and claim under their policy. But with an evolving motoring public, acquiring assistance from a certified loss adjuster isn't just a recommendation, but a necessity. We add leverage to the playing field because the claims process is like a seesaw. On one end, you have the insurer and possibly their adjuster, and then on the other end, you just have the insured, or the third-party claimant. And when you come to the claims negotiation process, the insurers can pull out the proposal form, and oftentimes the average public member doesn't understand these contracts and the jargons involved. McPhee offers this takeaway. We make a difference in that vein by providing those services. And I would say that if you have a small claim, let's say under $3,000, you may just call us just for some advice over the phone. We'll give you that advice, some do's and don'ts, and then you can negotiate with insurers on your own. Those are very straightforward claims. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that you are being treated fairly and you get a fair settlement offer. Well, some great information then. Now it's time for the weekly poll question. Here's how it works. Listen in for the question and then log on to our website, that's www.znsbahamas.com, as well as any of our social media platforms to answer. That's all it takes. This week's question is, do you practice energy conservation to assist in reducing your monthly electricity bill? Yes or no? Now, the poll's final results will be aired on Friday. Thanks for participating. And you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
Tourism today.
I am a mother of 3 daughters. I have no boys, so everything that my dad taught me, I am now teaching my daughters. My daughter Samala actually helps me out in the business on the weekends. She actually is the one that makes the conch fritter batter. And she gets a lot of rave reviews. Her conch fritter batter is actually better than mine, I would say. And I learned from my dad, passed it on to her. She does a good job. She knows how to break out conch. She knows how to skin conch. She knows how to make salad. So my dad, Samuel, he's the fisherman. He sources the conch. He goes out like twice a week to provide the business with conch. We get the conch out of the water fresh every day. And then we come back, we start off by breaking out the conch, cleaning the conch up. We don't break out everything at the same time. We usually break out a small amount because we want our conch to be fresh, because that's our customers like the freshness of our conch salad. Sometimes people are amazed, they're surprised. Sometimes people are even timid. Do I want a woman making my salad? But once they get the salad, it's like, okay, yes, I'm coming back. Being able to provide that experience to tourists who are eating conch salad for the first time is also an awesome experience. Because I think about when I travel and when I try something for the first time, sometimes you're afraid because you're pulling out something that is live. So if you're like, oh my goodness, is it still moving? Sometimes we'll cut a small piece of the conch and let them taste it. Like, okay, yes, I want a taste of that. It makes me feel good to know that our product is always in high demand. Sometimes we run out and we're not able to meet the demands, but that's something that we definitely want to work on in terms of going out more often. But we also think about the sustainability of the conch, making sure that the conch isn't small, making sure that the lip is fully formed, because we want this business to last. For my daughter, for my grandchildren, we really, really want it to last.
Have you been denied a U.S. visa and don't understand why? Have you been turned away from the U.S. border without an explanation? Maybe you've had a prior arrest or conviction and you're not clear on how to move forward at this point. Call our office. We may be able to help. 954-449-1833.
Are you a contractor or new homeowner? Maybe you need a few pieces of lumber for your DIY projects. Welcome to Capital Lumber, the newest building materials company in the Bahamas. Located on Parkgate Road, Nassau, helping you to maximize your savings on lumber, cement, shingles, tools, and much more. Your one-stop shop for all your building essentials. With free delivery to the mail booth, visit us today. Capital Lumber, build strong.
To think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Having a policy with Bahama Health is more than just health insurance. It's about feeling good knowing that your health and wellness is covered. It's about the confidence you feel knowing that your card is accepted by over 50 pharmacies and 400 local doctors. It's about peace of mind, knowing that when you travel, you have comprehensive coverage and our overseas partner is just a phone call away. It's about the security you feel, knowing that you're an important part of the family.
Join the family.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
It's the initiative heard around the island. One local entrepreneur's ambitious aim to walk the entirety of New Providence, all in the name of charity. Well, that entrepreneur kicked off his walk this morning. Our Antoinette Smith caught up with him on the trail.
All 248,000 feet, all 47 miles of an island, 21 long by 7 wide. 80-year-old Peter Roker today is determined to walk them all.
If these shoes give out, cause me any problem, I take my shoes off, I go in on socks.
It's a feat that some call daring and maybe even a little crazy.
Well, boy, I ain't gonna lie.
But for Peter, each step is made with intention and made for the greater good. The objective, raising funds for the Ranfurly Home, the Children's Emergency Hostel, and Abilities Unlimited, 1 penny per foot.
Every single penny that you give goes directly to these entities. These charities and all the other charities in the country, but these ones that I've chosen now, these are really, I mean, if you give them $1 or $1,000, you can really believe and know your money is gonna really, really make a great impact.
Roker's efforts come as the Ranfurly Home undergoes phase 2 of its transitional home initiative, and as Abilities Unlimited continues their strides in assisting those differently abled. His cause capturing the attention of many, including those who simply want to donate and others who also want to go the extra mile.
Well, I'm a runner, and this is what runners do. You know, we support one another.
So when we saw that Mr. Roker was doing this, we jumped in right away. How can we assist? How can we help you?
I want to encourage him by coming out. Encourage him along the way. I came out.
The group together determined to go the distance.
The whole idea is to get the results, to see what we did, but you can donate all year round, and I would encourage you to visit these charities. I mean, seriously, if you want to have a really good time, particularly if you have children, go to these charities.
To learn more on how you can donate to the penny per foot cause, visit the social media handles at Peter Roker Just Because. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoinette Smith.
Well, definitely a step in the right direction. Members of the Fox Hill Old Scholars Association gathering on National Heroes Day to celebrate and honor some of their own. It's the resumption of a beloved tradition hosted by the Scholar Society annually, previously put on hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, in a service at St. Paul's Baptist Church early Monday, Fox Hill scholars showed up in scores intent on carrying on the tradition.
Usually have a service every year, but we didn't have a service for 3 years, and so many people was killed during the pandemic. So we have to praise God and thank Him for bringing us through this. Thanking Him for His manifold blessings, for how He has brought us through the pandemic, and He's continuing to lead us on. So we have to give Him thanks and praise for everything that He's done for us.
And a Bahamian musician is getting the chance of a lifetime tonight. Popular Caribbean recording artist and international worship leader Sherwin Gardner is in town to conduct his second live album recording at Bahamas Faith Ministries on Carmichael Road, and it's titled In the Room. His love for the country prompted him to give back to the local music industry by offering Bahamian artists the opportunity to showcase their talent in front of international music, TV, and film executives.
This is my 18th album, and also this album is a little bit different in the sense that it is the true creation of what I would say a kalaloo, or a mixture of different genres that I've been doing throughout the years. So I started in praise and worship as a child, then I went to reggae, dancehall, that what made me popular throughout the world. And now I found the way to merge that Caribbean also with the worship that I love. And that makes a big difference with this album.
Now, rising Bahamian gospel star Colin Christopher is grateful for the grand opportunity.
The fact that Sherwin Gardner chose me to be a part and to even sing with him on one of his songs at the live recording is mind-blowing to me. It's just a great opportunity, and it's a humbling experience. It's a chance for us to show the world that we do have something to offer, that we're not just here enjoying our own gifts. We also want to show the world that God has given us a sound, and we want to release that sound to the world as well.
And as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
Find your favorites on special this week at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Cardinal evaporated milk, 14 ounce, $1.19. Best Value whole kernel corn, 15 ounce, $1.09. Carter bath tissue, 4-pack, $2.49. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, $1.19 per pound. Bar S classic or chicken franks, 12 ounce, 2 for $3. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Did you know that registering your farm with the Department of Agriculture is currently free of charge? It comes with a wide range of benefits, such as assistance with feeder farm roads, land clearing, and tractor services, assistance with Department of Immigration for obtaining foreign farm labor at a reduced permit fee, access to fish and farm stores for agricultural input supplies, sale of produce at packing house, produce exchange, abattoir services at a reduced price, training at the Food Technology Laboratories, disaster relief assistance, and free veterinary extension services. For more information on any of these incentives, please call the Ministry of Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs at 397-7400. That's 397-7400. For additional updates, you can follow the ministry on social media at MOAMRFIA Bahamas.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Shopping online isn't new to the market, but gaining access to affordable healthcare products at the click of a button is the greatest customer experience. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited gives access to a complete customer journey, from shopping in our retail store on 9th Terrace, Centerville, to shopping online at your convenience from work or from the comfort of your home. Offering delivery and pickup options. Remember, if it's healthcare, it's here. Shop online today.
The National Accreditation and Equivalency Council of the Bahamas, also known as Nai-kov, celebrated its official opening of its new headquarters on Atonic Williams-Darling Highway. Executive Director of Nai-kov, Dr. Lisa Roll, along with the Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, Glennis Hannah Martin, highlighted the significance of the body to the instructional delivery process.
This initiative was undertaken firstly in response to the growing concern at the rapid expansion and emergence of private post-secondary institutions and programs often without formal approval. And secondly, to ensure that there's a quality assurance guidelines in place to hold institutions and providers of education accountable to establish standards. Nai-kov is charged with the responsibility of ratifying the registration and accreditation status of primary, secondary, post-secondary, and any institution or provider that offers training in the Bahamas.
It is clear that Nai-kov is more than a technical body of accreditation of educational and training institutions, tasked with the sole function of accrediting and reaccrediting of institutions operating in the Bahamas. It has a larger national function in protecting and promoting public confidence in education and learning, and also, very importantly, in promoting a culture of quality assurance in general.
Fair Talk. I'm Denise Pratt.
The National Heroes Day holiday weekend turned deadly for one Abaco motorist following a collision with a 2008 silver Honda and a 2010 yellow Chevrolet Camaro Sunday night. Now, according to police, shortly after 8 p.m., officers in Marsh Harbor were notified of an accident in the North Abaco community of Blackwood. Police reported a Honda with a male driver and a female passenger was traveling west on S.E. Boodle Highway when it collided with the Chevrolet driven by an adult male carrying a male passenger. When EMS arrived on the scene, the male driver of the Honda showed no signs of life, while the other 3 persons were transported to the local clinic and treated for injuries. And the stabbing on Andros Sunday has left a 39-year-old man hospitalized and another in police custody. Police say shortly before 10 p.m., officers were called to a business in Nicholstown following an altercation between a 30-year-old man who stabbed another man in the upper body. The victim was transported to New Providence, where police say he is in stable condition. And it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Lloyd. We're under near clear skies with a temperature of 89 degrees, relative humidity 62%, east-southeast winds at 12 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,000 at 17.0 millibars. That's 30.02 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 79 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Torquay, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco. The Berry Islands at 84. Allenstown, Bimini, 87 degrees, 86 in Harbor Island. Rock, Sunny, Luther, 89. 89 also in Black Point, Exuma, and Camp Space at Andros. Fresh Creek in Central Andros at 86 degrees. 89 in Otterstown, Canal, San Salvador, and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 88 degrees. 87 in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Acklands, and Matthew Town and Nago. Also, Turks and Caicos Islands, by the way, they're reporting 87 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the northwestern islands tonight through tomorrow, winds are going to be easterly, 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. High tide takes place at 9:03 tonight, another high tide at 9:27 tomorrow morning. Now, for the central and southeastern islands, also through Tuesday, the winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. So caution flags are in place for the entire 700 islands through Tuesday. And then as we take you into Wednesday, middle of the week, the winds will fall off quite nicely, southeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, the wave height subsiding 2 to 4 feet. Hence, we will drop those caution flags on Wednesday. High tide takes place at 10:09 in the morning on Wednesday, with a low tide at 4:35 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, Wednesday, winds are subsiding a bit as well, but we will maintain those caution flags. East to southeast flow at 12 to 18 knots, and the wave height 3 to 6 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast I can download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
Opa!
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Welcome to the Cable Bahamas Business Solutions Cybersecurity Tip of the Day for data backups. Regularly backup your business's data. Set your backups to happen automatically and store them somewhere secure. When considering data backups, consider the rule of 3-2-1. Have 3 local backups, 2 digital backups, and 1 offsite backup. Remember, stay safe, stay informed, and stay protected.
The Global Learning Exchange is now enrolling students. Pursue a bachelor's or master's degree, or become Microsoft or IBM certified. Call or visit GLX today.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
This is ZNS Total Sports. Welcome to your holiday sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports news. The 2021-2022 basketball season for the Ole Miss women's basketball program was indeed an historic one, as they would finish with the program's best standings in SEC play in over 25 years. It's the first 20-win season since 2007. Now, for Coach Olette McPhee-McCoon's rising program, what exactly is next? She told reporters at the school's media day that her players and coaches certainly won't be complacent.
We really don't focus on replacing anyone. We focus on player development. You know, we think when Kira first came, she was averaging, I think, 9 and 4, and she left 16 and 9. So, you know, I think we assisted her in her development, and we want to do the same thing with this year's group. That's been a question I've gotten, how we're going to replace, and I just don't think that we focus on that. We focus on pouring into our current group, like I said, which has a lot of new faces that I think everybody will be excited about, and, you know, giving them all of our energy and effort. And
despite losing star Shakira Austin to the WNBA, Coach Yo says development remains key.
Well, you know, we're just continuing to rebuild, not as much as, like, at first we were trying to build completely. You know, it's just reconstruct. And so just like the new football facility. You know, you get it, it's nice, and then you want to expand. And so we want to do the same thing. And I think that's the goal, just to expand from where we were into where we're trying to go, which is to be a program that is expected to go to the NCAA tournament every year and beyond.
While the 2022 Senior NACAC Championships was deemed a successful event this summer, a health scare from NACAC President Mike Sands gave athletes and spectators a bit of cause for concern. Sands recently addressing the media on his condition since.
It was a little challenging. I didn't realize, I guess, initially we obviously thought it was a severe case of dehydration and heat exhaustion, which it was, but some things, you know, happen for the better. And as a result, I first of all must give all the credit to the attention that I received in Grand Bahama, the doctors at Duran and the doctors at Sunrise Medical, and all of the medical persons that came to my aid in Grand Bahama that allowed me to be back on my feet, feeling much stronger than I ever felt before. And so sometimes, you know, we have to take good care of ourselves. We don't recognize that we are going. And the body tells you when it's time to stop. And so the body slowed me down very, very abruptly. And I'm very, very thankful to be here.
In action wrapping up yesterday, the Bahamas Flag Football League's inaugural Heroes Tournament that saw a number of local as well as international teams battle for bragging rights as well as a team cash prize. On the men's side, it would be the Three Links boys taking down the Rock Boys out of Freeport 12-7. On the women's side, the Pirates Game Wildcats will complete the Triple Crown sweep, taking the women's titles for the regular season, Sand Wars, as well as the Heroes Tournament, defeating the Zero Tolerance ladies team 20-0. A special season for the team as they set out to honor fallen coach Philip Ramming.
The Wildcats started with one goal about 2 years ago when we had, Coach Phil and Coach Dwight just drawing up the plans on what it is that they want for the future. And I believe that is what we did this year. We conquered the Triple Crown, winning regular season championship, then turning around and winning Sand Wars, and then turning around and winning the first annual Heroes Tournament, which we call the October Tournament. And I'm sure our coaches couldn't be any more proud of us. We've definitely put in the work. We stayed dedicated. We knew what we wanted as an ending, and this is the way to end the year.
And still on flag football, interest in the sport certainly growing across the younger demographic of players as numbers of local participants continue to rise and excel on the international scene. Bahamas Flag Football League President Bianca Lee.
League has been fantastic. We actually had a team travel to the U.S. The 14 under, they actually won their division. And the 17U, they did extremely well. They got knocked out in the elimination game because they were running a Ironman team. They had several injuries. They only had 5 players. And so they had no legs left. However, they did absolutely fantastic. And so we applaud those guys. And remember, that league is 6-17. A lot of our 13U were actually playing in the 14U category and won the championship, hands down. In their division. And so the season has actually started already. They're starting to separate the kids to different teams, and games will commence over the next couple of weeks.
And still on youth development and sports, Mario Ford still hard at work using his community development baseball program to help churn out some of the country's next best baseball prospects.
Well, my program is basically development at an early age, whereas the kids can be able to understand the game, and the parents need to help assist and encourage the kids with the game of baseball. Baseball can help kids with getting a scholarship, getting an education, and even playing at the professional level. So once we see the talent, we try to pull it out, and what I can't finish the deal with here, I send them to JBLN or Freedom Farm where they play in the league. I am just basically development. So what we're going to do here is continue doing this and assisting wherever we can.
And that's when we look at sports on this Monday. I'll check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
Our free pick, pack, delivery service gives everyone in the Family Islands a chance to shop a variety of club products and prices right from home. Simply call or WhatsApp your order to 242-677-7266 or email order@amlfoods.com. A friendly customer service representative is waiting to pick, pack, and deliver your order to the mailboat of your choice. The options are truly endless, and with membership you save even more. So order today and let Costrite pick, pack, and deliver right to you.
A household name carries a lot of approval, and when you're shopping for household, you need a household name. For 50 years, Bahamas Welding and Fire has been a household name in outdoor grills and kitchen appliances. Need to beautify that yard space for your grill? BWF has it covered. For the industrial worker, you can find a complete line of tools and safety equipment. For the welder of any level or budget, you can find the right machinery to power everything. There's no shortage on power with a wide array of generators, and safety is everyone's responsibility. Find everything needed to protect everyone on the worksite. Over 40,000 square feet of shopping space in a convenient location. Bahamas Welding and Fire. We're more than just our name. Located number 13 Wilton Street.
Welcome to the Cable Bahamas Business Solutions Cybersecurity Tip of the Day for default credentials. Default passwords exist with almost every operating system and application. Point number 1, check the default passwords on all hardware and software and change passwords immediately. Test the credentials to see if they are still valid. When changing passwords, make sure that the new password is strong, unique, and stored securely. Remember, stay safe, stay informed, and stay protected.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, area of high pressure will be beginning to build across the Bahamas, so you'll see an increase in the winds for a brief period. And then we still have this area of low pressure near the Yucatan Peninsula, which we're keeping our eyes on, 20% chance of that developing. Our forecast for tonight looks like this: partly cloudy, warm and humid, 78 degrees for your low. And tomorrow, it's going to be, again, a bag of cloud and sunshine. A stray shower or thunderstorm likely in the afternoon, with your high temperature getting up to 87 degrees. And your extended weather forecast for the next 7 days, we will have those stray showers in the forecast right into Wednesday. It becomes a little bit more scattered on Thursday, and then we come back to those isolated conditions on Friday. A lot more sunshine working its way into our forecast on Saturday and the early part of next week. Lloyd?
Thanks a lot, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching, and good night.
Yeah.